All right, people, we are going to start the class. Thanks for joining. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Emilio.
We are good afternoon to you, and we are on the last class, in the last class of this course. So thanks for all the attention that you have been paying throughout the course. We are finishing with the security awareness module. That means that all the major parts have been covered throughout the hours of the course, and we are finishing with this last subject that involves all the procedures and all the guidelines for how to react when a security threat is on the board, on the ship. Okay, so we were discussing this yesterday with you and other of the ones that attended the lesson. So we have also some levels of how the threat, we can categorize that threat, and we have what we call MARSEC levels. MARSEC levels, okay? That means that based on how dangerous the threat is, we are going to have different types of levels, types of reactions for that MARSEC levels of the dangerous threat. And to put a video so you can have a more clear understanding of this.
Okay, we're shortly becoming there's an increased threat to the ship, so we're going to up the security from black to
The ISPS code specifies 3 levels of security to cope with different levels of perceived threat. The level to be applied will be influenced by factors such as: is there any political turmoil or armed conflict? Have other ships been attacked? Are there many refugees in the area? Have stowaways or drug smuggling been a regular problem? Is the ship carrying valuable or hazardous cargo? What matters is knowing what action to take when threat levels are increasing. Security level 1. This is the normal level, with minimum appropriate security measures being maintained at all times. Access on and off the vessel controlled, with all persons identified, and the ship's crew and passengers not allowed to disembark without authority. Access to sensitive areas of the vessel limited. The handling of cargo and stores witnessed. Spot checks on access point controls. Regular security patrols. The ship security officer to contact the port security officer at each port of call. Security level 2. This is a heightened level which requires additional protective measures for a time because there is more risk of incident. Check all deliveries closely, be it cargo or stores. Particular grounds for suspicion may require that a container is opened and the contents inspected. Visitors may be searched and escorted. Carry out random bomb searches. In port, carry out hull inspections from quay and waterside. The crew to be extra vigilant and increase the frequency of patrols. Patrols to be stepped up, especially in port. Access of all visitors to be strictly controlled, especially to the bridge and engine room. Rig overside lighting. Security level 3 is termed exceptional. This requires further security measures for a limited time when an incident is probable or imminent. All spaces, including off-duty crew lockers, to be searched. All stores and deliveries checked prior to acceptance.
Okay, gentlemen, the ship now is approaching piratical waters. As you know,
Crew
we have
briefed on
to
seriousness of the
anti-piracy
situation
plan.
and requirement for vigilance. Patrols of the vessel to be intensified if possible. Possibly suspending embarkation and disembarkation, halting cargo operations and the delivery of stores. At security level 3, the port state control authorities may take control of the situation. The measures applying to your vessel for the 3 different levels of security are set out in the ship security plan. They are there for your protection, and they can help deter those with criminal intent. It is essential that details of the plan itself are restricted to those who need to know. Control the flow of information and restrict knowledge of the cargo to as few people as possible.
Okay, so that's for the level, of security that the ship is going to have and all the personnel is going to have and have to deal with these measures. That's for the MARSEC level, and it comes from this ISPS. Okay. What's the ISPS? That's the International Code, Código Internacional para la Protección de los Buques y de las Instalaciones Portuarias. Okay, International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. That is going to involve a lot of things based on how to deal with threats and also how to maintain communication and the different levels in which the security is going to be heightened from the MARSEC level 1 to the 3 to level 3, and also many guidelines and instructions are going to be in the security manual. Okay, you are going to have a ship security manual, which is going to cover all these types of things involved in the security and also for the armed personnel and how to deal with passengers and all the threats. Threat es la palabra para amenaza, threat. Es como se dice siempre en todo este tipo de vocabulario, ¿verdad? Threat. So this is a training. Okay, this is like some slides for a PDF for all the training of the personnel and how to deal with the security and also security at ports. Authenticity. And look at this. It is like a complete course. The SCCW, the basic safety course, is just like an introduction to security awareness. But also we have certifications for all the seafarers to complete, an extensive course on security. This is some of the things that are connected: checking persons, like good inspections, the ID documents for the. So I'm going to download this. I think this is pretty good. Not for us to cover because it's time. It's time like the fights in the MMA. It's time to end the course, but I can put that material also for you to have a look after. All right. So as for this, we also have like every cruise ship is going to have the policy. Policy es política, okay, or policies, corporate policy. This is the way that the person in charge from the vessel is going to follow the instructions from higher command, from corporate. And also when you have a MARSEC level 3, you are going to be in the need for the authorities and the port and the national guard, for the coast guard, to protect you and to take the ship as their own. So let's take a look at some of the policies from many companies, but we have this for this website from this Cruise Lines International Association. And let's have some of you. Okay, Tito, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, can you read the entire thing here displayed on the screen?
The risk of violent crime on cruise ship is 95% lower compared to a typical city in the United States. Just that?
The entire slide.
Okay. A study of 4 years of violent crime data by renowned criminologist Dr. James Alan Fox shows that the rate of violent crime per 100,000 people is 95% lower on board cruise ships than on land. You
All right.
that?
Pretty good. Thank you, Tito.
You're
So
welcome.
this is for some assessment. Este es como un estudio que hicieron de esta compañía. The risk of violent crime on cruise ships is 95% lower compared to a typical city in the United States. Okay. So the incidence of alleged violent crime per 100,000 people. Okay, cruise ships crime rates are 90%, 95% lower. So cruise ships are going to be a safe place to work and to be for vacation and so. Okay, so we have 508. That's the incidence compared to the cruise ships, that is going to be 23.8%. Okay, as a study of 4 years of violent crime data by renowned criminologist Dr. James Alan Fox shows that the rate of violent crime per 100,000 people is 95%, I'm sorry, lower on board cruise ships than on land. Like, we must take into account that in cruise ships we have different sets of security, and also cruise ships are really they are really big, and they don't contain usually too much of attractive things for pirates. We have a lot of stories. Hay muchas historias de piratas, en verdad, en el internet y en YouTube, from the Somali pirates. Los piratas de Somalia son, es una historia que se repite siempre, que siempre están buscando a quien poder atracar, y muy comúnmente a los cargueros, porque los cargueros pues they carry a lot of goods and a lot of very expensive things. So that's for this part of, it's safer to be on a cruise ship. That's the end of the story for this one. And we also have let me put this from Royal Caribbean Safety and Security. So at Royal Caribbean International, the safety and security of our guests and crew is our highest priority and fundamental to our operations. Our marine safety record over our 42-year history clearly illustrates our commitment to the safety of the millions of guests and crew that sail on our ships. So the marine safety record over our well, they're 42 years old, uh, business. So they've been in business like quite for some time. The measures we take in the interest of safety are many, with our ships often exceeding what is required by regulatory authorities. These are all part of our ongoing commitment to innovation and continuous improvement in every aspect of our business. So all the companies are going to follow some strict rules, and they say that the measures that they take on safety usually are exceeding what is required by regulatory authorities. Así que ellos dan como la mía extra, como les dicen, ¿verdad? De la seguridad en sus barcos of the Royal Caribbean. So at the beginning of every cruise, all guests and crew must complete a drill known as the muster drill. Okay, that's pretty important. At the beginning of every cruise, all guests and crew must complete a drill known as the muster drill. Okay, to ensure they are familiar with what to do and where to go in the unlikely event of an emergency. Remember that we have muster stations and muster lists based on the types of alarms that the ship is going to have. To further ensure they are aware of their specific muster location. We identified it on each of guests' car key. The location also is prominently noted on the back of every stateroom door. Okay, so let's have some reading for you. Angel, please.
Todo eso.
Yes, please. In addition to here.
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. In addition to the muster drill for our guests, our officers and crew conduct the weekly, monthly, and annual drills on every ship and complete extensive training, certification, and scenarios in preparation for very unlikely event of an emergency, including training on ship evacuation procedures. All of our ships have sufficient life-saving crafts to accommodate every guest and crew member on board, as well as additional capacity in reserve.
Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Thank you. Thank you, Angel. So in addition to the muster drill for our guests, our officers and crew conduct weekly, monthly, and annual drills on every ship. That's an important thing to know because you are going to be trained weekly, monthly, and annual in different types of drills and different types of emergency situations. It's not like this, like well you have this course and well, you are just getting this theory and then, okay, goodbye to the course and we don't see that again. No, in this ship, you are going to have that weekly training that is going to get your mind focused on the things that you must be prepared to handle with personnel, okay, with first aid, with security threats, also with survival techniques. And so, okay, so that's going to be something that most of the ships are going to have. I talked to you before about the Titanic accident, that they didn't do too much of those drills, so they weren't prepared for all the crises that they had, and sadly a lot of mistakes were performed with that accident. So for this, on the extensive training, certification, and scenarios in preparation for the very unlikely event of an emergency, including training on ship, evacuation procedures. All of our ships have sufficient life-saving crafts. That's important, right? Life-saving crafts, lifeboats, life rafts, to accommodate every guest and crew member on board, as well as additional capacity in reserve. take a look at that. So as for Royal Caribbean, they have additional capacity in reserve for this, for the state of emergency, where the live rafts or live boats got messed up. So they have this reserve. Okay, let's continue with this. This is welcome, Danilo. This is all about how Royal Caribbean handles security on board of the ships. So we are reading this article. Please, can you read the thing that I have selected for you here, Danilo?
All of our ships are designed and operated in compliance with the strict requirements of the International Maritime Organization, the UN agency that sets global standards for the safety and operation of cruise ships, codified in the safety of life at sea, SOLAS, conventions, safety related regulation are rigorous, and we often go above and beyond what is required. For example, carrying backup national navigational and safety provisions.
All right, very good. So as for continuing this, they say all these ships are designed and operated in compliance with the strict requirements of the International Maritime Organization. Maritime. Ahí se recuerdan de esa palabra. Ustedes tienen que salir del curso diciendo bien esa palabra. Maritime. No maritime, maritime o algo así. Maritime. Maritime. Con Mary. Como el nombre Mary más time. Maritime. Organization. The UN agency that sets global standards for the safety and operation of cruise ships. So they are like in compliance, codified in the safety of life at seas. Some manuals that you are going to encounter, okay, you are going to read the SOLAS Convention, and that's safety of life at sea. Safety of life at sea. So we have different regulations, different guidelines that you will have to learn, and you will have to start practicing when you are on a ship. Okay, safety related regulations are rigorous. Okay, safety related regulations are rigorous, and we often go above and beyond what is required. Así se venden, ¿vale? The Royal Caribbean, they go above and beyond what is required. Well, I will say that that's kind of true, okay? Because I haven't heard like a big incident with Royal Caribbean or some. For example, carrying backup mechanical, navigational, and safety provisions. So that's kind of a big thing for the ship because I was, with all the things that I have been learning from this course, because I have learned a lot for this, I was thinking when we saw the personal survival techniques that, food is not going to be like a lot on the lifeboat, just one ration of maybe for 72 hours, I remember. So that's not like a long period of time for you to handle and to have enough food. So that's good. Carrying backup mechanical, navigational, and safety provisions. So that's what they have, Royal Caribbean. I'm going to put the translation, the pronunciation for this, because I have heard in the video some other pronunciation, but I want to be sure. Yeah, Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean. I heard one of the persons has a vlog on YouTube, Royal Caribbean. He said Royal Caribbean, and I was like, well, is that correct? Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean. Caribbean. Más hacia la E. Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean. Okay, so that's the thing. So in addition, our vessels, regardless of where they sail in the world, comply with the U.S. Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act. Imagine that, another set of regulations for the U.S. Okay, CVSSA, U.S. Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act. So we have the ISPS, we have the SOLAS, we have this for the CVSSA, all right, requirements, including railing heights, access control, closed circuit TV, medical preparedness, crime allegation reporting, and crew training. Our own requirements generally exceed those specified by the CVSSA. We work closely with regulatory authorities to improve safety laws and regularly participate in discussions and studies to inform legislators of current practices and offer our perspective on regulations and standards to assure safety. Okay. Big thing for them. Let's finish with this. Please, can you read this part, Tito?
Flag state authorities and other maritime safety regulatory bodies, such as the USA Coast Guard, from each country our ships visit, also regularly inspect our ships. Their examination focus on life-saving equipment and safety and environmental protection item, and these officials have the authority to prevent our ships from sailing if we fail to adhere to regulations. You know that?
Okay, that's good. That's good. So for the first part, they say that flag state authorities and other maritime safety regulatory bodies, such as the U.S. Coast Guard, from each country our ships visit, also regularly inspect our ships. So those persons are going to inspect the ships, okay, and examine how the ship is handling some procedures. Their examinations focus on life-saving equipment and safety and environmental protection. Okay, so they are going to be, visited from those types of bodies that they are going to be assessing all the things that the ship is going to carry. In addition to these inspections, ongoing system of internal as well external or independent marine expert audits also help us remain vigilant, safely operate our ships, and maintain effective systems. Okay, that's for all the, all the policy that Royal Caribbean has. Okay, we have more things here like security guide. Okay, we have a security guide here. The stewardship report we have for the corporate side. Refusal to transport policy. All right. We have some safety guide here. All the regulatory bodies that are going to be presented in the procedures that Royal Caribbean has. And that's for those parts of each ship. Each ship is going to have their measures based on the regulations. And regulations are going to be strict. That's the thing. So I'm going to close this. Okay. That's for the ISPS manual. And let's continue. Well, security drill. What is a security drill? Please, Angel, can you read the screen? Angel, are you there? He's gone. Danilo, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you read, please, the card?
Okay. A training event that tests at least one component of the FCP or VCP, and they use it to maintain a high level of security readiness.
All right, pretty good. So that's a security drill. And as for this, let's learn what are these. These abbreviations: FCP, FSP, FSP, FSP. Facility Security Plan. Looks like that. And also VSP. Vessel Security Plan. Vessel Security Plan. And let's have again this FSP, Facility Security Plan. Okay, so we have now these two set of letters, FSP, Facility Security Plan. Facility is something like you know, a building, or where something really big like a business is going to be located. Facilities, las instalaciones, facility. That's the word for that. And VSP, well, the vessel security plan. So a security drill is going to be related to a training event that tests at least one component of the FSP or VSP, one component, and is used to maintain a high level of security readiness. How often must security exercises must be conducted? How often? Okay, please, Tito, are you ready? How often should we conduct the drills? Please, can you read this?
Me, teacher.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Go on.
At least once each calendar year, with more than 18 months between
Okay.
exercise.
Between exercise. So at least once each calendar year. At least one each year for the security drill, with no more than 18 months between exercises. So that's not going to be a common drill, because common drills are going to be focused on fire drills, and also you know, the general alarm drill, man overboard drills, and so. But at least once each calendar year. For what? For how often must security exercises must be conducted, okay? Okay, what should you do upon discovery of a suspicious looking backpack? What should you do? Okay, I'm looking at the deck and I find a suspicious looking backpack. So what should I do? What should I do, Tito? Are you there? Or Angel, are you there?
Report it to your supervisor, security officer, or security personnel.
Okay, so don't like start being curious about it for that bag and start looking. Now just report that something really strange is on deck, is on the galley is left missing somewhere, and you are going to report it to your supervisor, your security officer, or the security personnel. You already know when you are on ship that you are going to have some brigades that are going to be the ones that will handle security. Which of the following is not a package bomb indicator? Which of the following is not a package bomb indicator? Address is printed instead of typed. Which of the following is not a package bomb indicator? That the address is printed instead of typed. Okay. Which of the following are considered improvised explosive devices? Which of the following are considered improvised explosive devices? Okay, Danilo, please.
Homemade explosives, remote controlled bombs by cold burn, AEDC, are the above.
Okay, all of the above. So homemade explosives, like, in the movies for Afghanistan and all those type of places where they are always in fight with the United States or other countries, homemade explosives, remote control bombs, and vehicle borne IEDs, vehicle-borne IEDs, or all of the above. So those are going to be, or are considered, improvised explosive devices. Conventional weapons. Which of the following are considered conventional weapons? Assault rifles and RPGs. Conventional weapons, assault rifles and RPGs. So as for the Navy, they are going to have weapons because they need to secure also the ship when there is an emergency. And many personnel is going to have a military rank there because they can handle also guns. Usually for deckhands, stewardess, the cooks, for the the personnel, they are not going to have this type of weapons. They are just going to inform a threat or a danger. So officers, okay, and the authorities on the ship can have a notion of what is happening. Okay, which of the following defines contraband smuggling? Contrabando, okay? A contrabando are very common on the ships and also with many ports, and so the illegal transport, the illegal transport of goods aboard vessels and trucks. Okay, that's going to be a smuggling, contrabandeando, smuggling. To smuggle something is, to transport that illegally, with the notion that you are already in a fault, in a felony. So that's kind of the thing that you are going to have for the word smuggle, contrabandear, smuggling, contrabandeando. Okay. SOLAS defines piracy as which of the following acts? SOLAS. Remember that that's the regulation that we have also for safety at sea, okay? Safety at sea. Violence or detention or any act of depredation committed for private ends by the crew or passengers of a private vessel or aircraft. So what's the meaning of piracy? Piracy on the ship, okay? Violence or detention or any act or depredation committed for private ends by the crew or passengers of a private vessel or aircraft? Which of the following defines terrorism in the maritime industry? Which of the following defines terrorism in the maritime industry? Okay, Angel, are you ready? Please.
Yeah. The use of threat of violence by extremist groups seeking to achieve political, religious, or social objectives.
Pretty good, pretty good. So as for the, the terrorism on a ship, that's going to be the threat. That's going to be the pronunciation for this, since it has th. Remember that the first lessons, only the sound of the air coming through your tongue and your teeth. Threat. The use of threat of violence by extremist groups seeking to achieve political, religious, or social objectives. That's for the terrorism. Which of the following are considered current threats in the maritime industry? Current threats, las amenazas actuales que tiene la industria marítima. Please, Danilo. I'm going to put your card.
Terrorism are collateral damage, piracy and armed robbery, contraband, smuggling, and cargo theft are the above.
All the above. Okay, all the above. So this is the same. This is the same pronunciation for the threat, theft. Kind of just the sound of the air, theft. Okay, theft. And the other one is threat. Armed robbery, piracy. Okay, and well, collateral damage from political reasons. The biggest catastrophe in maritime was not the Titanic, was a ship that had some refugees, and the cruise or the vessel entered some area, and they were bombed by torpedoes from a submarine. So they took the vessel down. Okay, and a lot of people, like 5,000 people, died on that particular incident. That was for collateral damage. Was like terrorism, but it was political terrorism because it was a cruise ship with refugees, and they weren't in the fight, and so that's like a sad story of the biggest crime also, and the biggest catastrophe at sea for a vessel. Which of the following statements are true? Okay, limits access to qualified individuals who have passed background check. Let's continue with this. A weapon of mass destruction causes death or serious injury through the release, dissemination, and impact of weapon of mass destruction, radiation. And this is why people are scared of nuclear power. A weapon of mass destruction, like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, for those type of bombs. Okay. Which of the following is not a chemical agent indicator? The smell of bitter peanuts. Pues ahí dice cuál no es un indicador de un agente químico. El olor de las manías así amargas. Which of the following statements are true? Characteristic of is not a characteristic of a dirty bomb. Blast effect is similar to nuclear device. weapons. Suspicious. Okay, suspicious behavior. This is kind of important. Which of the following is a characteristic of suspicious behavior? Unidentified person taking photographs of the vessel or vessels. Unidentified person taking photographs of vessels. So they are making like some analysis on the vessels. So that's an example of suspicious behavior. Suspicious behavior. Okay, which is not a characteristic. An identified person making authorized package delivery. Well, someone delivering a package. Not suspicious, right? Okay. Piracy characteristics. So that's kind of a usual thing. Most pirates use relatively small boats. Okay. They are going to use really small boats. They're going to be heavily armed. Okay. These are the pirates. Dangerous people. Okay. Let's watch the news. Well, this was 3 days ago. Imagine that. Iran reports second successful defense of tankers from Somali pirates. Look at that. It was like 3 days ago. Iranian naval forces are reporting for the second time in less than a month that they have successfully prevented a suspected pirate attack on one of Iran's oil tankers in the region of the Gulf of Aden. Monday morning, Iranian state TV announced the successful defense of the tanker that they said was sailing in the region near Yemen before entering the Bab el Mandeb Strait. Okay, I'm sorry, give me a minute. I'm sorry, I had a call here. Okay, so that's for the pirates. That's, you know, a real thing. Let's finish this. So they use relatively small boats. Vulnerabilities to the piracy and armed robbery. Low speed and low freeboard. Low speed and low freeboard, like that's vulnerability. Which of the following statements are correct for the pirates? Well, what is the definition of a security breach in the maritime industry? Tito, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, please.
Any incident that has not resulted in security incidents in which security measures have been circumvented.
Okay. So as for this, the definition of a security breach in the maritime industry, any incident that has not resulted in security incident in which security measures have been circumvented. right? But this is just a security breach, okay, that has not resulted in security incident. What should you do if a security breach occurs? What should you do if a security breach occurs, Angel? Please.
Take action specific to your facility or vessel as direct by your security officer.
Okay, pretty good. So take action specific to your facility or vessel as directed by your security officer. Contingency plan actions to be taken in the event of a bomb threat will be based in part on. Danilo, please A and C.
How the warning was received. And C, the manner of the person making the threat.
Okay, threat, threat. Ese es algo complicado, ¿no? Pero es así, threat, threat. Con todo el sonido saliendo del aire, threat, threat. And which of the following contingency plan actions may be used in the event of a piracy or armed robbery attack? Deterring the attack by evasive maneuvering. Okay, that's not going to be easy for a ship. I'm sorry. And use of high pressure water hoses during attack. Give me a minute. I'm sorry, people. Okay, so determine the attack by evasive maneuvering. Okay, try to maneuver the ship. That's not going to be easy for big ships. And use of high pressure water hoses during the attack. For the pictures, you saw that there were some water going to the pirates. The high pressure water. Okay, so that marks the end of the course. I really thank you for the attendance, for attending each of the days. This is like complete different thing that I have been teaching. I've learned a lot from this, honestly, and that's kind of a big thing for me, because I was teaching some other things like electricians and so, and I really like all the subjects that are taught in this kind of courses. Imagine like having this also in English, well, with practical. Well, you are going to have a trained personnel for that, but that was the main focus of the course, for you to understand some of the basic things of the basic safety training, and to know how to associate the security and also the survival techniques to how you are going to conduct yourself on a ship. I'm going to send you a link that is going to be the test. This is the final test for you to complete. You can complete this today. If you need more time, you can do it today. This is the final test. And I'm going to send you also the material for that, but it's pretty similar to all what we cover. All the things that we cover, it's the same thing, but I'm going to send you also the material, because I don't want to to have a test like you are going to just try to answer things randomly. Study material. Please complete the test before midnight, 12 p.m. Ok, así que muy agradecido por cada día que estuvieron asistiendo. Han sido, pues, ahí sí que unos estudiantes bastante buenos en cuestión de conocer un poquito también de esto. Siento que al final esto da para más también en cuestión de práctica, ¿verdad? Imagínense, como decía en inglés, tener a esa persona entrenada. O sea, obviamente yo no estoy entrenado en nada de eso, pero esa persona entrenada en todos esos temas con certificación y que lo diera en inglés, ¿va? Uno de esos entrenamientos de esas semanas. Sería bastante bonito estar en algo así. Ok, so ahí completan el examen y pues ahí estamos siempre a la orden en cualquier cosa que necesiten de parte de INTECAP, de parte de la administración. Pues agradecemos cada esfuerzo que hacen, y cualquiera de las carreras que les interesen, cursos que vayan surgiendo en INTECAP Santo Tomás, pues estamos ahí a la orden, ¿de acuerdo? Eso marca el final de nuestro curso y nos seguimos platicando, ¿de acuerdo?
Emilio, muy buenos días. Te saluda Tito.
Hola.
En general, y para que escuchen los compañeros, pues unas palabras para agradecerte todo el apoyo, los conocimientos que nos brindaste durante este mes y días. Considero que avanzamos bastante en relación a el vocabulario nuevo que tenemos que utilizar a bordo, ¿verdad? Gracias a Dios tengo varios cursos directamente aquí en Guatemala en español sobre estos. No quise abordar ni meterme un poquito porque quería que fuera más en inglés que en español. Pero de igual manera, aquí estamos en el Comando Naval, yo soy oficial del Comando Naval, y en lo que te pueda servir o cualquier documentación que necesites, estoy aquí para servirte en la Escuela Naval.
Buenísimo.
Es un gusto saludarte, Emilio. Estoy a la orden. Como te digo, tenía bastante conocimiento, pero no me quise meter porque queríamos desarrollar el curso con ustedes, ¿verdad?
Buenísimo.
Te agradezco
no.
el apoyo.
Gracias, Tito, y ahí estamos también a la orden.
Es un honor ser tu estudiante, Emilio. Eres muy buen maestro de inglés. Te felicito.
No, ahí gracias ahí por las palabras. Y ahí estamos. Ahí sí que esto es para que ustedes lo aprovechen. Cada situación que se tiene. Fijo, los horarios a veces son adversos, pero creo que uno puede ir haciendo el tiempo. Y para los más jóvenes, sepan que hay sí que oportunidades en todo tipo de de carreras, simplemente que hay que ponerle ganas, ¿va? Esa es la cosa, creo que esa es la conclusión del tema, siempre ser muy humildes con todo lo que vayan a realizar y esa misma, o sea, humildad y preparación a la par, ¿verdad? Esos van como que de la mano, porque solo si soy humilde, pues al final no voy a llegar a mucho, si voy a ser una buena persona, pero si sigo también formándome y tienen creo que una buena oportunidad con este curso que están, a los que están postulándose para que tengan una carrera. Yo miraba los videos esos de los, o sea, de Royal Caribbean y todo eso, va, de la gente que trabaja ahí, decía, o sea, sí, obviamente ya estoy grande porque no siempre como que emplean a gente así tan grande. O sea, grande les digo de 35 ya para personas así, a veces no van a querer personas más jóvenes. Entonces hay una oportunidad para ustedes ahí. Así que completen su examen y ahí nos vemos en una próxima. ¿De acuerdo? Ángel y Danilo, que estén muy bien y un buen resto del año también.
Muchas gracias, teacher. Gracias por todo, la verdad. Se lo agradecemos bastante. Gracias.
Que estén muy bien ustedes. Se cuidan. Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
See you. Bye.
See you around. Goodbye.